The average sale price of a single family home in Owen Sound and the Grey Bruce region was down almost 7% from this time last year. We're going to get into that a little bit, so stick around for this video. We're also going to talk about some of the other statistics, what we see on the ground with our listings, and what we see going forward. My name is Tim Matthews. I'm a realtor with the Mark and Tim real estate team with Century 21 in Studio Realty. We run a fair amount of business in the Owen Sound and Grey Bruce region. So if we can ever help you, whether you're selling or buying, please reach out to us. We would be happy to do so. Before we get into it, if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel so you can keep up to date with what's been going on with the real estate market. We're going to start off with the market stats for the Grey Bruce Owen Sound region as a whole. And we're looking at single family market statistics as well. So let's take a look at how many sales took place. 223 sales took place in June. That's down 12% from this time last year. So if you remember in our previous video, we chatted a little bit how we're seeing more inventory come on the market and sales are also down. It has certainly slowed down this month. Active listings, 1,358 active listings. This is a 27% increase from this time last year. So more listings on the market, less sales. The month of inventory is 6.1. That's up from 4.2 last year. And remember, month of inventory, about anything between 1 to 3 months is a seller's market, 4 and 5 is balanced, 6+ is a buyer's market. It basically means 1 out of every 6 properties that's on the market is going to see a sale. You can see back in June of 2021 when the market was really hot, basically everything was selling. It was a major seller's market. We've been trending up ever since then, obviously, with the interest rates going up and buyer demand phasing out a little bit. The average price, as I mentioned, down about 7% from this time last year. I don't like to put a lot of weight on average prices. In a second, I'll show you what the home price index is. It's not so bad. And also you can see you're still up about 65% and even 100%, 151% since 2014, 65% since June of 2019. So depending on when you bought your house, there's still quite a bit of appreciation there. Median days on market took about 31 days for a house to actually sell from the time it hit the market to the time it sold. And remember, that's just for what's actually sold. There's a lot of stuff that's been sitting out there for much longer, right? So we're going to go down here. We're going to jump right into the HPI home price index. For a single family home, prices are actually up about 1% from 1 month ago. So you remember with those average and median prices, they're heavily prone to price swings because in a market like this, you're not seeing a ton of sales that are on the higher end, but you're seeing a lot of stuff sell kind of maybe under that 600,000 price range. So naturally, those average and median price points are going to be prone to higher swings, right? So let's switch over here to the Owen Sound market and take a look at what's going on there. So Owen Sound single family market, we had 24 sales in the month of June. This is 7% less than we did last June. And we had 54% increase in active listings from this time last year. So we have 85 listings on the market. There was about 42 listings or so on the market this time last year. And there was also more sales than what there was this time last year. So month of inventory still isn't actually that bad for Owen Sound. It's kind of right around that balanced territory at 3.5. So about 1 out of every 3 properties is actually selling, or 1 out of every 3.5 properties is selling. And then the average price here, you can see it's down 7.5% to $481,000, but we'll get into the HPI here in just one sec. For the month of June, the average day on market was 19. This is actually an improvement from this time last year. So Owen Sound is faring a little bit better, obviously, than the whole region of Grey Bruce is. So let's jump right into the HPI for Owen Sound. So single family home, you can see that prices are down a little bit from last month, but only down about 0.5% from 1 year ago today. There's the kind of the graph chart of it. So what we're seeing still, you've got 85 active listings. That's up 50% from last year. So things aren't selling as quickly as they were, a year ago today. And whatever the reason is for that, whether or not it's the interest rate environment still isn't favorable enough for people to come back in, I'm not quite sure. But the market is a little bit slower. What we're seeing on our listings, this past week, actually, there's been a few more showings come through, but it's been pretty slow for June and even into July. We have a Bank of Canada announcement coming up next week. So you can look for another rate cut potentially to come out. We'll see what happens there. The inflation prints are looking promising for there to be another rate cut. So what kind of effect that has on the market, I don't think it'll have a huge effect, but it certainly is not going to hurt anything. I think if you're a seller, from what we can see right now, there's going to be not a lot of change. I think it's going to be very similar to what it is now for the next little bit. You're probably going to see an uptick in the fall market. That's when the next bounce of buyers is going to come back to the market. So if you're on the market right now and you're wondering what's going on, things often slow down in this time, right? So there's a good chance it does pick up a little bit going on down the road. That being said, you always have to look at what your competition is that's out there and make sure you're priced according to that. If you're a buyer out there, man, there is some good opportunity right now. The summer, things slow down. There's lots of inventory available, especially if you're a buyer that's in maybe entry-level price point house. What's selling quite quickly in the Owen Sound area is things priced under that 500 to 450 mark, especially if it's in really good condition. Those are moving quite quickly, and there's a good amount of inventory between the $500,000 and $700,000 mark. So if you have that entry-level home, you're looking to make a move up to a bit of a bigger house, is actually quite a good opportunity for you right now. But going forward, I think we're going to see a bit of a pickup in fall, but largely things are going to be very similar with probably average sale prices, time on market, and buyer demand. So hopefully this video was informative for you. If you have any questions at all about the real estate market, please reach out. We would be happy to help you. And as always, make sure you subscribe to the channel and be sure to tune back in next month. We'll break down the month of July statistics. Thank you.